Hey, welcome back. So brand new section here, one that I'm really excited about. I've had to record this video like 5 or 6 times now because I just keep getting too excited and going on some tangents about why this is such an important topic, but it really is a really important topic. So it's Booleans and conditional logic. Booleans, if you recall, are just true or false values, but really this section is all about making decisions based off of something being true or false. So decisions is everything, and that's really the focus of this section. So if you're like me and you suck at making decisions and you regret things and you look back years later and you wonder what if, you don't have to worry about that because in Python, things are cut and dry. Python is not a flawed human. It is code, yes or no, 1 or 0. All these decisions we make come down to true or false. So that's the Boolean part. So this is what is going to allow our code to have multiple outcomes, branching paths, rather than just the same thing every time. I mean, imagine a tic-tac-toe artificial intelligence, a computer AI that every time a human moves, the AI plays the center square on tic-tac-toe every single time. That would be really easy to beat. I mean, it would be like, playing my little brother. Instead, if we allowed our AI to make decisions, it could evaluate the game board and do things like, if the human opponent is about to win the game, block the square, prevent them from winning, and so on. Basically, decisions are really important. So our code right now can't do that. Our code does the same thing every time, but by the end of the section, it will be able to have different outcomes. All right, so with that said, couple of objectives for this section. And the first one actually has nothing to do with Boolean logic or decisions. It's all about getting user input in Python. So this is something that in the last video, in the last section, I actually introduced, but a lot of people, in my experience, some people skip through the code along sections. So I wanted to add just a little video here so people would see how we get user input. And it also ties into this section because we're going to get user input and do something depending on what the input is. We're going to make a decision. Then we're going to learn about truthiness. So we'll learn more what that means, but values are inherently truthy or falsy. And then we'll learn how to use comparison operators to make a basic program. This is really the bulk of this section. How do we make decisions in our programs using what are called comparison operators and Boolean logic? So that's where we're heading. But for now, we're going to start off by just really quickly talking about user input. So if you did the code along in the last section, feel free to skip this video if you already know how to get user input and just move on to the next video. So you have a decision to make. Yeah, that's pretty terrible. You can watch the next video on input or skip ahead and we'll dive right into conditional logic.